Hi everyone, we're in New York City for the Henry Stewart Digital Asset Management Show, just winding down here at the end of day 2. And I've been fortunate today to interview a number of people who've been speakers over the course of the event. And today we have Graham Allan here, who's the head of consulting and operations at KlarisIP. Welcome, Graham.
Well, thank you. It's great to talk to you.
Great. We have a few questions for you that we hope you'll lend us some insight. So you have a really long history in the media and entertainment world, and it would be great to hear, what do you see as some of the most significant ways that this has evolved and DAM has evolved in this space?
Oh, that's an excellent question, because there's evolution is really quite significant. I think perhaps at the macro level, how DAM fits into its environments has really changed. So we've gone from managing small collections of assets, really at a departmental level and maybe individual silos, to thinking of DAM as part of a holistic content supply chain, and really looking at that content supply chain from lens to consumer, or from edit suite to consumer. I think that's a real transformation, very much for the good. I think at a micro level, we've also seen huge strides in the technology, the underlying technology, the platforms and the products we have at our disposal. That might be as simple as the kind of assets that we manage. We can now manage really complex file types, layered graphics, complex broadcast video formats. Also how we move files. Files can be quite large. It was challenging to move them across the campus, across the world. We have really good technology now to do that. And perhaps more significantly in search. The kinds of technology we have available to us for metadata, metadata sophistication, for search sophistication, and the emerging promise of machine learning, perhaps to make that even better. I think those are very positive and significant transformations. In parallel with that, user expectations have also evolved.
Indeed.
And perhaps the technologies haven't always kept up with where user expectations have evolved, but that's what keeps us on our toes.
Sure. So you already spoke to a couple challenges there, and that was going to be my next question, sort of what are the bigger challenges? So you mentioned user expectations, you mentioned file sizes. Are there other big challenges that we're facing as an industry?
I would certainly put user experience in general as one of those challenges. And sometimes you say user experience, people imagine you're talking about what you see on the screen, but it's really more than that. It's the information you get back, the quality of the information you get back, your search results. It's the performance of the application. It's the delivery of assets to where they need to be. So user experience, being in tune with where your users need to be, is a real challenge. I think integration, how DAM integrates with that broader content supply chain, seamlessly. We're past the time when you can get away with complex software customization projects. It has to be fast, it has to be seamlessly integratable with the environment around it. And then probably the biggest one for me is agility. The businesses around us are changing very quickly. Our DAMs have to be positioned to adapt nimbly, quickly, to those business needs, and that has to happen in hours to days, not weeks to months, which is kind of how it used to be.
And that's tough, isn't it?
It is, well, yes, it's tough.
It's for sure. So from your large-scale perspective, you've worked with many huge organizations, and you live out in LA where you've got these giant studios that you've worked with over the years. Explain to us a bit about kind of what are the keys to success to these monster implementations, and what advice would you impart for success?
I think it almost doesn't matter how big the implementation is or how complex, and sometimes people think this is oversimplifying it, but really for me the KPI, the most important KPI, is adoption. Will people actually use it? I have seen the simplest of DAMs get adopted like that, and people are thrilled with it. And I have seen very expensive projects with many months of investment not get adopted. And if a DAM is not used, why have the DAM in the first place? So adoption is tricky, and working out what are the user expectations, being in tune with them from very early on in the DAM journey, and then I think laying out an adoption roadmap for how users will actually use it. It's not as simple as train them and then send them back to their desk. Sure. There's psychology in adoption. So, I would put adoption at the top of my my KPI list, my definition of success.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Graham.
Well, thank you.
And thank you everyone for watching.